When I was born, I was baptized Catholic. And then when I grew up, or when I was growing up, I was confirmed Presbyterian. And then I graduated from a Lutheran college. So growing up in the Midwest, I did my job of being a good Christian. And yet I find it kind of weird that the US government takes a day off from work when there's a Christian holiday. I very much believe that government and religion should be entirely separate, whether it's in this country or another country. Clearly, I am in the minority in other countries in the world that many believe that government and religion should be the same. But I do find it quite odd, here we are today in 2015, that the government takes a day off of work because of a Christian holiday. Just something that kind of struck me very interesting these days, that I may not have noticed prior to traveling around the world many times, living in different countries. And to many, America is a very, very religious and conservative country, which the first time I heard that was when I was traveling around the Middle East and was quite surprised. But when I started looking at statistics and really seeing the actual numbers, I was like, wow, yeah, it is a more religious country than many of these other countries around the world. What's interesting about that is my feeling would have been like, no, not us. We're very liberal, we're very open. But when I looked at the data said something different. So I like to follow data. I like to be a data-driven person. I like to do my best or think that I am able to acknowledge, at least sometimes, when my feelings or emotions are overriding what actual facts and history and probability are saying. So with that, I wanted to look and take a step back. We are past the first quarter of 2015, and I just wanted to see, hey, where is the money flowing to in the world? Where is it going? Where is it leaving? Rather than my gut of what should be happening, but what actually is happening. Hey everybody, this is RC Peck, and this is my weekend podcast. And my theme for this weekend is to the money printers, because money is flowing to the money printers as it has been doing since 2008. We are 6 years into basically this theme of who's ever going to print the most, other than Zimbabwe, is going to do the best. So I wanted to look and see where the money has been flowing for the first quarter of 2015. And I looked at 4 different areas of the planet to see where money was flowing. Now this screen you see here can be a little confusing because there's a lot of lines, 4 of them to be exact, and they're different colors. So let me start with the one at the very top right. It's a green line, and that is the Japanese stock market via the exchange traded symbol EWJ. And for the first quarter, it's up just under 13% for the year. So money is definitely flowing into Japan. Money is being printed in Japan. Every country, quote unquote, prints their money differently. Japan is doing it by greatly devaluating their currency and making their exports much cheaper. And the Japanese government has even come out and kind of said, hey, we might even buy individual shares of companies if we have to. But what you see here is one of the best money printers of the year, and that's Japan, up 13%. About half of that rate is 7.3%, and that's Europe. Europe is definitely behind the ball. They started printing much later than even Japan. Japan printed much later than the US, but Europe is starting to print a modest amount, and they're dropping their interest rates fairly significantly, to the point where in Germany, you can give the German government your money for 5 years and you will get less money back. It's a negative interest rate. And you can do the same in Switzerland for 10 years and get a negative amount of money back. But Europe is up a little over 7% for the year. So money is for sure flowing into European stocks. The third one, which is the blue line, is the BRIC countries, or the emerging market countries. You have Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. what are still considered the emerging market countries, though I'm not sure how emerging China is these days. It seems like it has emerged. The point is that the BRICS are up 5% for the year. So money is flowing into these quote unquote emerging countries. As you can see, if you go back and look at the middle of March and you see the blue line, it was actually the emerging markets that were doing the worst for that time during the year. And then they've absolutely moved forward, jumped up about 8%. But year to date or first quarter, they're up about 5%. And then you have this other country called the United States of America. It's the red line on the chart. And they're basically flat for the year. No money printing in sight. They printed their $3 trillion, or the Fed printed their $3 trillion. Obama printed another, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, $8 trillion going into deficit spending, which will never be paid back. To me, that is another form of money printing. But our money printing days are generally behind us, and so money is not really flowing into the US. It is flowing into Japan and Europe and the emerging market countries. Now, what's important about this is those are the countries that are printing. China is printing in its own way by making credit cheaper, wanting people to get into the stock market, making it easier for people to invest in the stock market, both locally or domestically and internationally. And we're not doing that right now. So money is flowing into these other countries. Yes, money still flows into the US because it's the US. But all things being equal in this closed system called planet Earth, money's flowing into Japan, Europe, and the emerging markets much, 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 much more than the United States. The takeaway from this is follow where the money is flowing. How do you know where the money is flowing? You look to see which price charts, which countries, which sectors, which companies are trending higher. Generally speaking, and even specifically speaking, that's going to be telling you where the money is flowing into. But definitely when you look at countries, you're looking at kind of this big meta level of where the money is flowing, and that really gives you that identification of where the money is flowing, not where it should be, not what should be going up, what should not be going up, what is right, what is morally wrong, morally right, but what is actually happening. And that is one of the many reasons why I like price charts, because of all the things we can look at, they are the least likely to lie to us. This is just another step in helping you grow your portfolio and grow your future. Until next time, this is RC Peck.